Hey, it's Bunny, and I wanted to come on here to make this little video. Now, it was not the video I thought I was going to be making today, but I felt very called to do it because I had some thoughts. And honestly, I was supposed to make this video like months ago, but I'll just make it now, right? Um, I know that this is gonna get backlash. I already know, but I'm kind of used to it, so it's like whatever. But it will all make sense as long as you have enough brain cells. Yeah. So I'm going to start with um who should I start with? First, let me first start with what made me want to talk about this. So a few months ago, I think some of y'all will know that this person, I guess her name is Summer from the Baddie Show, said F Emmett Till. And it opened my eyes to a trend that I've been seeing of unambiguous Black people disrespecting their ancestors and feeling like there's nothing wrong with it. Making horrible comparisons, making jokes like, oh, weird slavery jokes. Like saying, oh, you have slavery braids and things like that. And I've even heard comments like, "Oh, I know your feet look like the slaves did when they were running under the Underground Railroad and things like that." Like these jokes are not funny. They're very inappropriate and disgusting and such a dishonor to ancestors who had to come out of these horrible situations. Slavery is one of the worst things ever. And y'all are downplaying it and making these weird, tasteless jokes and trying to get at people by saying, making diss songs and using Emmett Till as a reference, saying that you'll leave somebody like Emmett Till, huh? And you're going to call me disrespectful for the videos that I make. Meanwhile, y'all are the same people who are condoning it. I have not seen the same backlash. I have yet to see the same backlash as y'all have for these people in your community saying horrible, horrible things about your ancestors, horrible things about the atrocities of slavery, the same way that y'all do to exoticals. I have yet to see it. But it's like y'all do this thing. I've realized it now why y'all feel so comfortable specifically disrespecting male Black civil rights leaders and male Black men who have like Emmett Till and just gone through these horrible situations. Like this is so hard. It's so heartbreaking to talk about because it's so disgusting. It like yeah, I feel like because of the gender wars in the Black community, we all know them. It's brought this thing in specifically unambiguous Black women where they feel very comfortable calling Black civil rights leaders and little Black children who were unalived for disgusting, baseless reasons, um, and just disrespecting them and calling, like how B. Simone said that Martin Luther King was a dusty. And how I've heard that more than once from Black women, and y'all are gonna say, "Oh, but B. Simone is licensed, so she da da da." We have to have a caveat somewhere because this B. Simone is very clearly to me monocultural. I just you know, and it's like because of your hatred towards Black men, you feel no ways talking about your own ancestors, the people who would not, Martin Luther King. You're calling Martin Luther King a dusty, the same person who was fighting for your rights, the same person who, had he not done what he did, you would not be even sitting here. You would not have the same freedom, the rights, the rights to talk your shit like this, to vote, to all of this. You would not. You would still be seen as what, 1/3, 1/10 of a white man, and y'all are going to disrespect him like this. Y'all are going to disrespect civil rights leaders. Y'all are going to disrespect your ancestors. That's why I really want to drill into people's heads. These are your ancestors who fought for you. He fought for the future you. And y'all are going to sit here and disrespect them because, oh, a random colorist man, a dark skinned black man, didn't like you and said some comments. A random dusty NBA player said some comments. I'm never going to disrespect people like Martin Luther King. I'm never going to disrespect ancestors who made life easier for you, who made life easier for me. I'm never going to do that. And I don't understand what type of mentality you have to have that. Oh, I know. It's this thing of, oh, because they have such an extremist mindset all the fucking time. I swear to God. It's like, oh, because this dark skinned black man didn't like me because I saw, I don't know, ASAP Rocky saying some things about red lipstick and black dark skin unambiguous black women can't wear red lipstick or something like that, right? Now all black men are colorist. Now they're all bad, and I have to call all of them dusties, and I have to run to my white zaddy. Only, and the thing that blows me about that, y'all say all the time that white people are the most racist, that they're so racist and there's no good ones and things like that. Meanwhile, y'all are hot in the pants to go and sleep and procreate and marry one of them. Huh? But anyways, also, I, d- I just want to add this in here. I don't understand why y'all call each other Negroes. I don't understand. I see a lot of hoteps, a lot of Pan African people saying that. Um, like Dr. Umar. Why would you use that term? I just don't understand. It makes no sense to me. And they love saying this thing, oh, a house N word and a feel N word. Why would you go out of your way to use those terms? Why would you go out of your way to use the same language as your oppressors and then next day complain, oh, the white people are oppressing us. We can't get anywhere because of white people and da da da. Meanwhile, you're actively denigrating your own community and denigrating yourself. I don't understand what self respecting black person would call themselves and other people Negroes. This is not the 50s. You don't have to. I don't understand at all, right? And I also want to move on to Rosa Parks because I've been hearing this for a while. Y'all have so much hatred in your heart for light skinned women, for MLS women, that you are going as far as denigrating a woman who had it not, again, who had it not been for her, you would not have the same rights. You would not have the rights that you have today. Rosa Parks saying no to that white man was one, like it's what kickstarted the civil rights movements. One of the things that kickstarted the civil rights movements. But I know because y'all bitches hate to read. I know because y'all hate history. Y'all claim you're so proud of being black, but don't know your history. You claim you're so pro black, you're so proud of your heritage, but you're denigrating your own ancestors who, had it not been for them, again, you would not have what you have. For you to go and spit in their faces and shit on other people and call people tethers, and I'm gonna get into that because there's a point that I'm gonna make that's gonna, add it in there. And this is, I just want to make this clear, even though some of y'all are still not gonna understand because you're slow. But this is not me speaking from a place of, oh, I'm mad that y'all don't accept me into the black community and that y'all called me a tether and da 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 and all of this stuff. And so now I'm like talking down on you and saying stuff like that. Like, oh, see, I respect your ancestors more than you do. No, that's not that. But this is something that I want to point out. I want to point out the hypocrisy of how y'all actively disrespect each other and your ancestors, and then talk about people like they're trash. You want respect, but you have no respect to give. But back to what I was saying, y'all have so much hatred for MLS women, for light skinned women, that y'all went out of your way to say, oh, they only let Rosa Parks be the face because she's light skinned, because she's mixed, because she has good hair and all of that stuff. And saying, oh, but what's her name? Claudette Colvin, I believe her name was the first one to say no to that white man and da da da. Technically, yes, but she was also 15, and if correct me if I'm wrong, she had a teenage pregnancy, and so why can let me just move back a little bit. We already know, y'all already know about respectability politics. Y'all love to bring that point up, and how negative perceptions of unambiguous Black people are very prevalent. It's like the shield where people won't get past it, right? That's the way that y'all describe it and things like that. So why would we now let a teenager who is pregnant, teenage pregnancy in the 50s, you want that person who is Black, who is a woman, to be the face of the civil rights movement, to be one of the faces of the civil rights movement? Why would they do that? Why would they allow that to happen? Because they're just, think about the things that they would have said. Y'all care about what white people have to say all the time, but y'all can't understand it now. Y'all say, oh, white people will never allow that. White people are gonna look at us crazy. Why can't you understand this now? It's very weird and it's very convenient that y'all like to pick and choose and what you understand and things like that. But we already know that they would have said, "Oh, well, they don't really deserve rights because look at them. They're out here with teenage pregnancies, and they're grown and fast and all this stuff," and would have used it as a way to dehumanize Black people further. So yes, it made sense why Rosa Parks was the face of saying no to that white man on the bus. It makes perfect sense. But because y'all are so slow, y'all are so blinded by your insecurities about your skin tone, you're so blinded about, oh, Pookie doesn't like me, he likes this red bone, that you cannot understand the historical context and social context of what's happening, of what took place, and who was chosen as a face for it, for the movement, as faces for the movement, right? Like, it's how do y'all skip how do y'all suspend reality like this? It's so crazy to me how mentally ill people are, how insecure dark skinned Black women are, that they have to disrespect civil rights leaders like this. Because I don't see as many unambiguous Black men talking about civil rights leaders like this. I don't see it at the same capacity. Now, I'm probably sure there is, but I'm pretty sure I've mostly seen unambiguous, dark skinned Black women saying all this stuff, saying crazy shit like Harriet Tubman was working for the CIA and that wasn't her real name and stuff like that. I love a good conspiracy theory. And I believe, the government is capable of many things and has been capable of a lot of things that have proven to be true. However, it's why do you feel so comfortable treading on ancestors, on people who changed history, who fought for their rights and yours, and y'all love to like downplay their achievements and things like that? It's so crazy to me but y'all have no problem claiming their achievements as yours. You have no problem claiming that, black people are so resilient. Look at Harriet Tubman. Oh, we're so powerful and things like that. Y'all have no problem claiming MLS people like Rosa Parks and Malcolm X and things like that. Y'all y'all are so ridiculous. Like claiming, like saying things like, "Oh, I Martin Luther King was a dusty. I was with Malcolm X. But we needed more Malcolm X and less Martin Luther King." D- Are y'all blind? Maybe it's because y'all watched the Denzel Washington's adaptation of Malcolm X's life, but Malcolm X was a ginger mixed MLS man. Like y'all do this weird thing where you like to pick and choose and try and hover other people, and who who tries to triangulate civil rights leaders into your sick game in your head. Like it's so weird, right? Y'all love to claim people until and their accomplishments. Y'all love to claim your ancestors and their achievements and act like you are on the same level and you're so powerful as them and all of this stuff. And oh yeah, if I was like that whole narrative, does anybody remember that, like years ago, months ago even, right, where people were saying, oh, I'm mad at my ancestors and why did they should have fought harder and they should have had a rebellion and things like that. They already did. They did. But do they have the guns? Do they have the social protection that white people had? No, they did not. So no, they could not uprise in the same way. No, there. Where was the safety? Y'all always say black people are not safe and stuff like that. Do you think that they would have been able to do that with what resources? I'll always say they don't give black people resources and stuff like that. Why does this not compute in your head when you're disrespecting them and saying, "Oh, they didn't try hard enough for me. Oh, if I was in slavery times, I would have done this, I would have done that." But you weren't, and you didn't. And stop saying. I hate when they say this thing of, "Oh, we did this and da da da." Like I remember that comment that I got, right, and they were trying to say some weird stuff. I don't even remember particularly. But like I think they wanted to call me a tether or something like that, and they said, "Oh, you have to come to this country and you have to be obedient. We fought for our rights." You did not fight for your rights. You were not in the 50s fighting for your rights, babe. Um, let's be so real. Y'all were not doing that. Unless you are one of those people who are there, please don't talk to me about we. No, 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 no. Put some respect on your ancestors' names. Put respect on the civil rights leaders' names who went out of their way to fight for your rights. You didn't fight for shit. You didn't fight for shit. Your greatest accomplishment is getting arrested by the police and screaming racism after stealing from Five and Below. Please don't talk to me about we and oh, I did it and I'm so much better than you because you didn't, you had to come to this country and be obedient and we fought for you. Did not fight anything but yourself, but your demons, but your insecurities in your head, and you barely did that because you're still insecure and you still have those demons and you look like one. That's besides the point. Um, but yeah, and saying things like, oh, y'all using insults like, oh, y'all are the type of people that Harriet Tubman would have left behind and things like that. Y'all are the type of, and specifically referring to MLS people and saying, oh, y'all are the ones that would have snitched to Massa and stuff like that. Why are y'all talking like that? I don't understand like, the way that y'all talk about slavery is unhinged to me. And the way that y'all use terms like Negro and Massa and love saying mammy and calling people things like that, I just don't understand what person would use those terms that were used to put down your race. But I'm the self hater? What? Like, I don't get it. And y'all are saying stuff like that. Y'all, y'all like to think you're such activists. What is your greatest accomplishment? Going to a rally and doing nothing? Shouting a little bit? What have you actually done? Not just saying, making a tweet and putting a black screen. Like, y'all are not the same people. Y'all are not Harriet Tubmans. Y'all are not Martin Luther Kings or Rosa Parks or anything like that. Y'all are not Malcolm X, the next Malcolm X. Y'all are not the next Fred Hampton. Please believe it. Y'all don't have 1/10 of their strength, 1/10 of their resilience, of their intelligence. You don't have any of that. You don't even read books. Let's be honest. You have a 10th grade education. Probably less than that because a lot of you can't fucking spell. How? But it's just really disgusting to me. And I feel like y'all need to put some respect on their names. It's really disgusting how y'all have felt so comfortable to talk about your ancestors like this. And just, ugh, just disgusting. Like, y'all don't see a problem with that. That's why I say that y'all have low racial self-esteem because I don't understand what type of you see the Irish talk. Y'all love the Irish so much. Y'all always say, gingers are black, right? Gingers are black. Okay. Do you think the Irish would have talked about their ancestors like this? You think they're actively talking about their ancestors like this? Hmm? You wouldn't find it. You would not find it. But y'all have no problem disrespecting yourselves and your ancestors because you have low racial self esteem. You are so, it's just sad. It's heartbreaking to me because their accomplishments, their drive for and passion for your freedom, for their freedom, but especially other people's freedom, they were willing to die for the cause. And y'all are just going to spit on them. Y'all are going to call them dusties and all types of mutts and things like that. I've even heard people say that Harriet Tubman was ugly. Why does that matter? Why does any of that matter? Y'all have no respect. And it's, yeah. But yeah, that was the end of this video, I believe. Please like, please comment, please subscribe. Bye.